Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cam's Corner. We're still here in Boston. It's starting to get a little chilly, so I'm a little more dressed up, but I'm excited to bring you some new tips and tricks. Today, we're talking about the high drop serve. I've had a lot of requests from you guys about serving, so we're going to do a couple episodes over the next few months on different serves and how to hit them. The high drop, for those of you who don't know, is a serve that goes up super high towards the ceiling, drops one bounce on the penthouse, and then falls flush, ideally, with the back wall. There's a couple different variations of it. It may be known as a giraffe or a chandelle or a couple of other terms. And those generally change based on whether you're putting spin on the ball or whether or not it clips the side wall, then the penthouse and comes through the court. But today, we're going to talk about the basic high drop serve. The first tip I'm going to give you with it is to not try and put spin on the ball. We actually want to try and hit this serve completely flat. That allows us to get the most control out of our serve. We actually want to instead concentrate on our height and our distance through the court that the ball goes. By getting rid of the spin, that allows us to do that much easier. When we start to throw in spins and complicate things, it becomes a lot harder. All right. The other tip I'm going to give you is that when you miss this serve, we want to miss deep. And what that means is that we don't want to hit a high serve that's short and becomes a sitter for our opponent. We'd rather pitch this serve deep and have it become a fault because we can then rely on our second serve. You'll see that I have left some balls on the ground here, and these are to show you where you want your step to go. So for this serve, we generally want to serve it from last gallery. A right-hander might stand slightly closer to the main wall. I prefer to stand a couple steps in. But what we actually want to do is, just like our bobble, is have a nice easy step forward through our swing with our racket just following the motion of our body. So we want to make sure that when we go to hit our serve, our feet are lined up with where we want the ball to go. From there, we're going to look to toss that ball a little bit further out in front of us so that allows us to lift the ball nice and high. I can't tell you how important the height is on this serve, because what that allows the ball to do is to drop without any forward momentum. The more height you put under the ball, the less forward momentum it's going to have on its way down. Whereas the more through the court you hit the ball with less height, the more forward momentum it's going to have. And that's what's going to carry it onto the back penthouse rather than hitting the penthouse and coming down flush with the back wall. Okay, a good example of that is this. I've hit low, I've hit through the court, and you can see that that's gone up onto the back penthouse because it has so much of that forward trajectory, so much momentum going through the court. Instead, we really want to focus on our height. It's a lot like putting in golf. You don't necessarily putt to the hole, you putt to a specific spot and let gravity and the weight of that shot finish for you. So we actually want to be aiming about halfway between the penthouse and the ceiling. That's our spot. We want the ball to die all the way up there and let gravity take it for the second half. This is an incredibly effective serve, especially against people who like to hit the ball hard. But yet again, the serve is only as good as you hit it. People who like to hit the ball hard want a ball with momentum. They want a ball with pace coming off the back wall or even coming in towards them. But what this serve does is give them a dead weight ball. A dead weight ball means that there's no momentum going either way. It's just dropping flat. That is the hardest ball for your opponent to control because they have to supply all of the pace, all of the spin on their own, which is the hardest thing to do, to control that. They may be able to get it, but the odds of them overhitting, making an error, or giving you an opportunity goes way, way up. This is a great serve for that. The other thing this serve allows you to do is learn the penthouse. When you travel from court to court, the penthouses are going to differ, which means the spot on the penthouse where you want this serve to land is going to differ. Some penthouses, when the ball hits, it skids through and continues deep through the court. Other penthouses are grippier, and that ball will hit and check straight up, even without spin. So this is a great way for you to figure out what kind of penthouse the court you're playing on has. You only need 2 or 3 balls. You can try a couple serves, aim for a specific spot, and look at the outcome. You'll see I have some cones set up on the roof, and they're quite deep down there. And those are to show me where I want the ball to land here in Boston. And the reason they're quite deep back there is because, yet again, if I miss this serve, I want to miss deep so that it faults. I don't want to give my opponent that short ball in the court. I want to make sure that I either get this serve right or I move on to my second serve. All right, so now I'm going to give you a couple examples of how we hit this serve. The big thing to remember is our height and our distance through the court. You're going to see me stepping towards the ball, towards the cones where I want the ball to go. Contact's going to be out in front, lifting the ball nice and high, concentrating on my height, aiming deeper on that penthouse.